Recently, I've started looking for some good stuff to review and see if they are worth recommending. One such gadget I found is this little electric air duster from a company named VSGO. This thing is supposed to replace the typical compressed gas dusters like these. You use this for dusting things from video gear, models, to electronics like keyboards, computers, and more. In this video, I'm going to see how good this little air devil is and put it to the test. Then I'll go over my first impressions and what I think can be improved. Fracking Creations, showing you the good stuff. A quick disclosure before I get started. This is not a paid or sponsored review. However, I initiated contact with VSGO and they agreed to send me this unit for free to review, and I do get to keep this after. I will provide my honest review. Links to purchase this electric air duster are in the video description below. Note that if you watch this video linked on another website and not on our YouTube channel, but want to support our work, navigate to our actual YouTube video to use our links in the video description to purchase. VSGO Electric Air Duster. I've got to admit that when I got this little air duster, I unboxed it and then walked around our home looking for things to blow. I even used it to cool my body off when I got too hot. Though this was all fun, the real test comes when we try to use it to do something useful. Tired of using manual blowers like this, or one of these compressed gas dusters? In the past, we used these compressed gas dusters and had to live with the drawbacks because there weren't any alternatives. There are chemicals inside that are dangerous. Don't forget how cold and low pressure the can gets, even just by using it for a minute. So for us, this little electric air duster by VSGO will be a good replacement if it works as good as the specs say. With equivalent air speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour, you come to expect a lot from this little hurricane generator. Let's put it to the test. Quick warning, at full speed, the non-calibrated noise level is about 81 decibels at about 1 foot distance. If you're going to use this for prolonged periods or are sensitive to noise, you might want to consider wearing hearing protection. Also, because there will be a lot of dust thrown out, I decided to do this outdoors. You will want to consider wearing a proper mask and eye protection. Test 1. Air filters. We have a pre-filter from our air purifier that is pretty dirty. It's time to clean it again. As you can see, the air duster has no problems blowing out the dust. Only the more embedded and tougher dust particles and strands remain afterwards. Next up, we have a computer air filter that I made for our desktop tower. The filter is composed of 2 wire mesh filters sandwiching a piece of fabric. Though the air duster is able to blow some dust out, it has trouble getting some of the more embedded dust particles. Part of the problem is the fan and holes in the case that is obstructing the airflow. It's probably best to remove the filter to clean, or use the air duster with a vacuum for better results. Test 2. Desktop Computer Tower. Next in line for cleaning is our desktop server. I typically vacuum all the intake ports and inside the case, but I know it still leaves dust behind because I can't reach all the nooks and crevices with the nozzle. This time, instead of vacuuming, let's air dust. Though our desktop server isn't the dirtiest, there's still a lot of dust inside. The VSGO air duster can definitely blow the dust out, but the dust does need somewhere to go. It is less messy to use a vacuum, but I think a combination of blowing and vacuuming would be ideal to clean this the best. The air duster is able to get to the dust that a vacuum isn't able to get at, like in tight spaces or areas like the radiator fins or the liquid cooler. However, in this case it is not able to get all the dust out, especially the embedded stuff. I think it is because the air has a lot of obstructions to get through, like the outer grill, the outer fan, then the radiator fins, and the inner fan. To properly clean this, I would have to disassemble the cooling unit and use a combination of vacuuming, air dusting, and wiping. When you are done with your cleaning, don't forget to dust yourself off too. Test 3. Japanese-style room divider. One of the best uses for the VSGO air duster is for cleaning delicate items like camera sensors, lenses, and models. This makes it ideal for a room divider that has delicate rice paper we don't want to damage. With vacuuming, you have to get pretty close to get the full cleaning effect, which can be risky and can be worrisome for your more delicate items. So vacuuming is out of the question. For delicate items, you should choose the fan speed that is ideal for what you are cleaning. I will be using the highest setting for this test. The included brush head has high quality soft bristles and will be needed to help with the cleaning. I now feel like an archaeologist cleaning some rare artifact. Here's the result of using the air duster on the room divider. A before view and an after with just using the air dusting features. And lastly, the results using air dusting with the soft bristle brush. The result is pretty good. First impressions. Like all methods of using air to clean, whether it is blowing or sucking, the effectiveness is best the closer you are. When compared to the compressed gas duster, it doesn't feel quite as strong, but for something this small and portable, it really does pack a punch and lasts quite long per charge. Plus, I didn't have to worry about the chemicals or liquid spraying out on what I'm cleaning. If I had to use compressed air dusters for the amount of air dusting that I did testing and filming this review, I would have gone through several cans. It would have also taken me more time as I would have to wait for the cans to warm up after a few minutes of use. With the VSGO air duster at full charge, I just dust away until the battery is drained. I didn't time the battery life, but it definitely lasted long enough to air dust quite a few items. In my first full charge, I air dusted a lot of things, but not all of them made the cut to show in this video. This was all using the highest speed setting too. The fine particle air filter, which is supposed to filter out 99.97% of dust particles, definitely does a good job so you have cleaner air coming out. A good filter is so essential to any fan-based air duster because the dust you blow has to go somewhere, and you don't want it getting sucked back in and blown onto what you're cleaning. The instructions don't say how to properly clean the air filter without damaging it. As it is delicate and fine, you don't want to damage it by accident. Not sure if this is the correct way, but I just lightly used the brush attachment to brush the dust off as necessary. What could be improved? Though the design is pretty futuristic looking, I think that the ergonomics could be better. If you try to use this for longer periods, it can get uncomfortable for the hands while the trigger finger gets tired. But here's a tip. Press both the trigger button and the power button simultaneously to enable automatic mode for continuous air. Look, finger free. Very useful and necessary. There's an LED light included that is useful to have and is bright. I just think it would be better positioned if it pointed in the direction the nozzle points. This would be similar to how some electric drills work. When the battery needs to be charged, the LED flashlight turns on, while the fan speed LEDs and the charge LED will blink simultaneously to warn you. I do wish they had a charge level indicator though. This is because lithium-ion batteries need to be taken care of properly to prevent degrading the battery life or causing batteries to bulge. These batteries are ideally maintained when the charge is kept between 20% and 80%, so a charge indicator can help me keep it above 20% before charging. The more you go outside this range, the more it degrades your lithium-ion batteries. I think this would be a great use for the fan speed LEDs. Smartphone batteries are no different, so check out our video on how to maintain your phone battery here. Lastly, a narrower nozzle that's longer would be a nice addition to help you reach tighter spaces. I have seen some people 3D print their own for this unit. VSGO Air Duster build quality. Let's take a look at the build quality before I give my final thoughts. From unboxing to actually using this air duster, you can feel that it is built really well. The aluminum body and modular design make it look futuristic, and the rubberized surfaces help give it a good tactile feel in the hands. It's so small you can take it with you almost anywhere. Brushless motors are the way to go nowadays. From high-end vacuum cleaners to hair dryers and hand dryers, these types of motors spin smoothly and crazy fast. This is the type of motor you need to reach the 100,000 RPMs this little thing is supposed to be able to spin up to. When you look into the chamber, you get a feeling you are looking into a mini wind tunnel. This is good stuff. In order to spin to the high RPMs that the motor can reach, you can't use any regular fan blades made of plastic. This metal fan blade is CNC machined from one piece of metal, so it shouldn't rip itself apart at those speeds. Even the rear grille looks to be metal. Like compressed gas dusters, you have to get closer with the air duster to get the most pressure from the air coming out. The nice little touches include the nozzle head having a silicone tip to prevent damage to sensitive equipment you are cleaning up close. What's in the kit? Here's what you get in the kit. Is the VSGO air duster worth it? It is definitely useful for cleaning your electronics, and especially useful for cleaning the more delicate items or items with crevices or hard to reach areas. If you have a use case for air dusting, then this VSGO air duster is worth it. This portable air duster will definitely be added to our list of gear that we use and recommend.